Hi, I'm Lucas, and you're watching The Icons, a show where we will tell you the story behind some of horror's most iconic stars. Today, we'll be talking about none other than the maniacal masked murderer, Jason Voorhees. Remember to drop a like and subscribe. And now, let's get into the video. Son of Elias and Pamela Voorhees, Jason was born in the small town of Crystal Lake, New Jersey on June 13, 1946. As a result of his hydrocephalus, he had severe facial deformities, an abnormally large head, and mental disabilities. Raising Jason on her own, Pamela kept her son isolated from the community, not letting him attend school and educating him in their home on the outskirts of Crystal Lake. Due to his mental deficiencies, his education was quite limited, but he learned never to question his mother. He obeyed all of her orders, grasping the concept that his life was going to be difficult, if not impossible, without her guidance. In 1957, Pamela was hired by the Christies as a cook for their summer camp. Having no living relatives to board Jason with and unable to afford a nanny, she took him to the camp with her. Rather than playing with the other kids, Jason often stayed by his mother's side, leading them to bully him. One fateful day, Jason attempted to escape from his tormentors, but the cruel children caught up to him on the dock and threw him into the lake where he presumably drowned. His last words were his cries to his mother. The Christies soon after ordered the camp closed. Police combed the lake but failed to find a body. Interrogation of the counselors, who were off having sex at the time, led the authorities to conclude Jason's death was accidental and no one was charged with his death. The camp would eventually reopen in 1957, and Pamela, who was mad with grief, murdered Barry and Claudette, the counselors she blamed for Jason's drowning. Pamela was never suspected of the murders, but unlike Jason's drowning, autopsies of the two teenagers clearly showed they died as a result of homicide, and the camp was promptly closed again. The Christies tried to reopen the camp again in 1962, but discovery of arsenic in the water reserves on camp property caused the summer season to be canceled. Throughout the 60s and 70s, there were random fires on the property, and the fire department could not come up with a plausible reason. It was never proven, but strongly suggested that Pamela lived close to the camp and had engaged in these acts of sabotage in order to ensure the camp remained unattended and that no child suffered the same fate as her son Jason. All of these tragedies led to the abandoned summer camp being nicknamed Camp Blood by the locals, who came to believe the area was cursed. Despite appearing to have drowned, Jason managed to make it to land safely. Having no idea how to seek help, he seemingly decided his only action was to wait for his mother to find him. He either built a home or managed to occupy an abandoned shack in the woods. During these years, Pamela never found out where he was, nor did they see each other again until her death. Presumably, Jason came to believe that his mother had died and that he was on his own. He managed to live off of the land, subsisting on plants in the forest surrounding Crystal Lake, hunting small animals, pilfering food where he could, or eating muffins. Okay, actually hopefully not muffins. He also made use of the abandoned summer camp to strip it for makeshift goods, or possibly made forays into civilization to procure supplies. After all, we see Jason go to Alice's home in part 2. Jason had finally managed to achieve independence from his mother and survive on his own as a full-grown man, albeit in a crude and very haphazard manner. The rest of Jason's story is depicted on screen, and rather than breaking down all 12 movies for the next few hours, we recommend either watching them or watching our upcoming breakdown series on them. But until then, that's been the story of Jason Voorhees. For more lore and history and horror's big baddies, stay tuned to Classic VHS Horror. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.